After you are done with the HTML file and the backend of your application, now it's time to bring your application to life. In this video, we will write some JavaScript in order for you to be able to use the full power of the ChatGPT in your own application. So here is the HTML file that you just created. And so let's go under the last div in that application. And here I will write a script, and here we will start writing our JavaScript. So let's write src, and here I will add a jQuery library that makes some of the JavaScript operations a little more simple. Okay, and here I will add one of the versions of the jQuery. So the link is ajax googleapis.com ajax libs jQuery, and then we'll add version 3.2.1. And then here we will access the jQuery JavaScript. You can also search for other versions in internet, and I always advise you to go to jQuery.com, where you can get more information about how jQuery works and how it is used to simplify JavaScript. Or you can simply go to ChatGPT and ask how to add jQuery in my HTML. Okay, and then you will get the exact answer, and you will see how you can actually add this library in your script. As you can see here, the solution is pretty much the same as the one that I showed you. The only difference is that here the version is added from the jQuery website instead of the Google APIs. Now, once we have that library, let's write the actual JavaScript. So let's do script, okay, and then here between those two lines we are going to add the JavaScript. So let's do $, and then here I will add the submit button. So here we'll perform some action with the submit button. So let's do hashtag submit.click function, okay, and here this means that we will create a certain function for our submit button. Now let's do var user input will be equal to a $. Okay, and here we will define the user input, and let's surround it with parentheses dot val. Okay, then let's do again $dot get, and here we will access our get method from the backend right here. So you can see the JavaScript pretty much connects the front end and the backend. Right now we refer the submit button from the front end, and now we'll add some function to access the backend. So the user input variable, as you can see, will be assigned from some variable that comes from the user in our field, and then we'll do get. So here I will use the get method. So let's do get question msg equals plus user input, and then let's do function data. So here, once we access the get function, right, we already got all the data that will be stored in data, and the user input will be stored in the user input variable. So the idea is that we want to display in our history field, firstly, the user input, and under it the response from the OpenAI, exactly in the same way as in the ChatGPT. So if you can see, once I ask question, firstly I see my question, and after that I see the response, and this is done with JavaScript. So for that reason, firstly I will do a $, and then chat, so we'll add that in our chat, okay. Then let's do dot append, okay, and here firstly I will add li class equals, so this li will also have certain class, so this will be list group item, okay. So let's close the li, and then I will open about text, so let's do b, and I'll write u, okay. So basically this is what we will see before the user input, so I will know that this specific text comes from me. Okay, so let's do plus user input plus, and let's create here another li slash li, and that's it. So this is the first element that we will display. So I will just copy that so we don't waste time, and I will paste it below, because the element below will be quite similar. So we'll do chat append, and this will again be list group item, but here instead of me or you, I will add open AI. Okay, so this will be the message from the OpenAI, and here I will write data. So you can see that we're getting this data from the get function, right? And once you're done, we can actually close our parentheses. So we opened one here, close that, and then let's close the other one too. And now before running the application, I will add some basic style, even though in the next video we will do the complete style. I will go just under the title in the header, and I will write link rel equals to style sheet. Okay, so we will use some external style for our application. And here I will use an application called Bootstrap. So let's do href, and I will paste this link called maxcdn bootstrapcdn.com/bootstrap. We use version 3.3.7/css, and then we use this file. Bootstrap is a very famous front-end framework, and it's normally used for web applications, so it will improve your application with some basic style. So before running the application, go back to your script, and here I noticed that I actually added an extra parenthesis. Okay, so remove it and save that. There is actually a very nice tool called Sublime Text with which you can actually analyze the front and the backend files. So if I open my application, I can simply go to the index.html file, and I can open it with the Sublime Text, and this will actually give you some clue on the color scheme and the different functions used in the JavaScript and later on in the CSS. So for example, here, if I would add this parenthesis, you will see that I will get an error. So let's remove it and save that. Okay, so let's run the application, and I'll click the link. And so this is how your application looks like. You can see that after running the Bootstrap and adding the base logic, your application looks a little bit better. So let's now ask the AI some question. So let's say, write an article about Twitter. Let's click the submit button, and let's see if our ChatGPT clone will work as expected. So we need some time until the response is generated, since this is going to be a long response, but eventually you're going to get it, and it should be displayed right here. So you can see that your application so far is working properly, and you can see that the message that you sent is right there, while the GPT chat response is just under it, and you can very easily distinguish between the question and the response. So congratulations, your application is working. Now there is just one thing left, and this is to add some styles so you can have an app that is looking good for the users with a modern design. Thanks for watching.